And we are back. Uh, Tier list. Week 2. An interesting week 1, to say the least. We had a lot of upsets and a tie. And some games that weren't even shocking that, they happened like that. But we're here week 2. We have tier list now. We have all 32 teams in the category of 5. We have top 5 pick, as you can see. These are the teams I think will have the top 5 pick. I'll go over them in a second. Next, we have Just There. These are teams that aren't really competing for a playoff spot and are kind of competing for a top 5 pick. I can't put them in top 5 pick because, only 5 teams can have a top 5 pick. Well, maybe not even sometimes. Maybe, a team has 2 top 5 picks. Then we have Barely Missed. These are teams I think will miss the playoffs, but not by a lot. Either that or they won't really be competing for a pick whatsoever. They'll kind of just be. These are the teams I expect to essentially finish either 500 or above 500. Next, we have Wild Card. These are the teams I think will make the playoffs, but won't really do a whole lot in them. I don't see them making them past the divisional round. And then we have Super Bowl. These are teams I think will have a very competitive divisional round and will at least make the championship game. Essentially, there are 6 teams in Super Bowl. The 2 AFC champions, I feel like, and then a team that's going to put up a good fight against one of the AFC championship teams in the divisional round. There's 3 from each conference. Then in wild card, we have 8 teams, 4 from each conference, and Barely Missed, we have 6 teams, 3 from each conference. Just There, we have 7 teams. 4 from the AFC, 3 in the NFC, and then top 5 pick, we have 2 in the AFC, 2 in the NFC, 3 in the NFC. Basically, to even out, we have 4 in the AFC and Just There, and 2 in the AFC and top 5 pick, and then, 3 and 3, whatever. Starting out, we have the Bears, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Jets, and the Jaguars. All 5 of these teams, I don't think high on. The Bears, the only team out of these 5 teams to get a win. But I don't think they're going to do a whole lot with it. I ultimately don't think that's going to propel them, to a above average rating. Or even average, maybe even below average. They're just going to be straight up bad. The rest of these teams, Jacksonville, they've had the number 1 pick the past 2 years. The Jets, they haven't really left the top 5 range in the past few years. The Panthers, they've barely missed the top 5 a few times now. Same with the Falcons. And the Bears, they've been getting worse and worse as years goes on. So I think they're getting close to, number 1 pick range. Just there, we have these wonderful teams. We have the Broncos, the Texans, the Patriots, the Browns, the Giants, the Seahawks, and the Lions. Out of these teams, the Seahawks, the Giants, and the Browns all have wins, and the Texans have a tie. Ultimately, let's quickly here to check. Last year was I had the Seahawks and the Texans both in top 5 pick. Now their win and tie ultimately are enough to bump them out of that, but not enough to put them past Just There. I don't think those wins are gonna and tie are gonna help them, be competitive come playoff time. The Patriots, I had them and barely missed last time, I believe. Just to be clear. Yeah. After their loss to the Dolphins, I'm going to move them down. It wasn't a great game by them. Same with the Broncos. I had the Broncos in Just There. I've had them the same, and that loss to the Seahawks definitely going to keep them there. The Browns, I'm going to keep them there even though they won because I don't trust Jacoby Brissett to win clutch games, against good teams. Nothing against the Panthers, but they're not a good team. And the Giants, congrats on your win. That's not going to do anything for you, though, either, unfortunately. And barely missed, we have... And barely missed, there we go. We have the Titans, Steelers, Bengals, Washington, Cardinals, and Cowboys. Titans, you lost to the Giants. That's all that needs to be said. Steelers, you almost lost. by giving up 4 interceptions. You literally almost lost by having the other team throw 4 interceptions and a fumble. The Bengals, you threw 4 interceptions and a fumble. Washington, you're Washington, so you've always kind of been slightly competitive, but never really enough. Cardinals, you're just going to have, probably an average season, maybe an 8-9, 9-8 season. And then the Cowboys, I think you're still going to do good. Definitely not playoffs now, especially with Dak Prescott injured. I think you'll be, around the same boat as the Cardinals, probably around 7-10, 8-9 range, though. Next, we had 2 wild card. These are teams that are going to make the playoffs. We have the Ravens, the Raiders, the Colts, the Dolphins, the Packers, the Vikings, the Saints, and the Niners. Ravens, they looked very good against the Jets. Raiders, even though they lost, they looked pretty solid against the Chargers. Even though they threw 3 interceptions, they still kept it close. Dolphins, they looked amazing against the Patriots. The Colts, even though you tied, that second half, you looked amazing. So, if you can find that second half Colts and make it a year-round thing, you should be fine. Green Bay, I'm never going to doubt you with that quarterback. And Vikings, as long as you got Justin Jefferson, you guys should be fine. Saints, even though you choked away, or you almost lost to the Falcons, luckily they choked away their lead. You're still the Saints. You have a pretty good roster. I think you're going to do just enough. And in a somewhat weak NFC, then the 49ers, even though you lost to the Bears, same with the Saints. You have a great roster, so I think it's still going to be enough. Finally, we have Super Bowl. We have hold on. There we go. I have a list here, and I don't want to mess it up. We have the Bills, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Buccaneers, the Rams, and the Eagles. Bills, we saw what they did to the Super Bowl champions in the Rams. Chiefs, we saw what they did to a team that made the playoffs in the Cardinals. And the Chargers, I just feel like they have a top 5 roster in the league. So even if, they lose this Thursday, which they're playing the Chiefs, so one of these teams are going to have a loss. Unless they pull Colts, Texans. One of these teams are going to have a loss. Buccaneers, even though you guys looked horrible, you still have Tom Brady. The rest still love sucking his dick so fucking much. So, you get a pass. You'll always get a pass. Rams, you're still the reigning Super Bowl champs. So, even though you lost to the Super Bowl favorites by a lot, I'm not going to drop you down because they were the Super Bowl favorites. Now, if it was the Jaguars, on the other hand, or someone like that, yeah, I'd have an issue. Back to the Buccaneers, though. Once again, I said the rest will suck Brady off. He did not look too good, but ultimately that's not going to matter, in my opinion. Then we have the Eagles. People are going to hate me for this, but you tell me like a weakness on the Eagles. That O-line, pretty good. The running back, when he gets carries, he does stuff with them. The receivers, pretty good. The tight end, pretty good. The quarterback, Jalen Hurts isn't a quarterback. He's like Lamar Jackson. Really? Okay. Even then, I'd say Gardner Minshew is one of the best backups in the league. So if you're going to say Jalen Hurts sucks, well, Gardner Minshew can come in then. He could probably lead that team to the playoffs. We saw Nick fucking Foles do it. Who else? Defense. Only got better. Sean Reddick, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Don't care what you want to be called, buddy. Once again, I talked about this in a previous video. CJ Gardner-Johnson, how many times are you going to change your fucking name? I can't keep up with it. I don't think anyone else wants to keep up with it. So change your name to whatever the fuck you want it to be. I'm going to call you CJ Gardner-Johnson. And yeah. The Eagles really have no weakness. Everyone's just going to say they can't do anything because of Jalen Hurts. I want you guys to see the Eagles end. That's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. Let me know what you thought. If you disagree, agree with anything. Once again, these are just my picks. These are not really analytic stuff. Because for tier lists, these are kind of just teams I feel confident in. And I'm kind of judging off of past because, Jaguars, for example, I don't think they're going to be out of the top 5. Even though, they've improved. Trevor Lawrence is going to have some experience now in the league. Yeah. That's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I did. We're going to talk about tomorrow. We will have Bears Franchise Episode 3. What else? Bears franchise on Monday. Bears franchise Saturday won't be anything. And then we'll be back to Monday, Bears franchise, as I said. Tuesday, we have power rankings. Wednesday, tier list. Wednesday, predictions. Thursday, tier list. And yeah, that's the cycle. It's just going to be the same thing until we hit the playoffs. Hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you next time. Goodbye.